The iBuy Power 2016 Fall Invitational with Vansili and Seaside. OpTic on the CT side for Cobble. It is composed of Mixwell, Tarek, Stanislaw, Nafly, and Rush. And for TSM, we have Semphis, Sick, Twist, FNS, and Relics. Welcome back, Sick, as let's start the pistol round here, Seaside.
Yeah, interesting. TSM going for FNS and Relics. Gonna go for utility early. They had two smokes, a couple nades, and flashes, and they're going to use one of their smokes early, so that's Relics throwing it towards Plat, trying to pull a rotation early from OpTic. Is if you invest a smoke in a pistol round, most teams are going to bite the bullet and rotate, because who's going to use $300 for free? You're going to see Naf fly towards danger now, and they're going to start this walk push, and Naf's going to meet him at the door, and he will get taken down. It's an opening frag now on the side of TSM, and they're going to continue this push as the rotations are coming in, but they're a little slow. But Stanislaw here.
Yeah, now we got a second flash that's blinding two peoples across, and it's going to be Stanislaw and Rush go to work. That's already a 3 down, and a 2-man advantage in favor of OG. And make that the green wall just still survives. This is all inside the A site, and a great job there for OpTic on that hold.
Yeah, they decided to just run right through outside of little Rapunzel, little cutout there, and he jumps out and gets behind APC, and Stanislaw is able to do work. The smoke at door kept him at bay for a little bit, but they were able to get into Nerd Room. A little cubby, I call it Nerd Room. I don't know. There's a lot of names, and they were able to just not out-trade TSM. They couldn't even get to site and get the bomb down. They get shut down completely. So now OpTic Gaming, they do it. They win pistol, and they're gonna get the typical couple FAMASs and some SMGs. Meanwhile, TSM armor and pistols across the board. You're gonna see one smoke on Semphis, and let's see where he decides to throw this one.
Don't be scared that we had to pause, guys. It wasn't Sick. They had to go back to the gaming house. They had to put Valence in. And now they will opt to try to move towards this B-bomb site for TSM with Sig at the point, so being the entry fragger for the team, pop flash for him to move in. They spot one towards the statue, and that's Tark trying to hold it back with the FAMAS.
So they gain plat control based on that smoke. FNS does get into E-room, and they're going to try to retake drop room. That is going to be Nafly to do so. Tark from site, he gets one, but the push is still on with 3 members at TSM. But look at these rotations. Everyone from OpTic is here, and it's just going to be a slaughter with Twist and Relics. Make it just Relics, last one up. But the damage is kind of done on the side of OpTic, but can't connect with any frags here.
Yeah, converging through on that was just perfect for OG to just have that quick rotation. They did the same thing pretty much on that pistol round in terms of communication and fast rotates. Let's look back and talk back on that pistol round, because Nafly tried to get some information towards that mid staircase and immediately spotted 3 guys right in front of his face, and he died. But the advantage for TSM's side is that they utilize the smoke and flashes to cover the connector and flash back towards platform and give them a chance to move inside the A-bomb site. But it was just a great counter flash going in for OpTic to take that back. This round here, very aggressive push for Mixwell, and he gets owned by a drive-by P250s, which they have across the board for TSM trying to move inside A to get a bomb plant. But Stanislaw moving in towards long. That's 3 kills with the UMP. Finally, it is stopped by Twist. He does have the bomb on his back, but he only has 23 HP, a UMP, and at least a bomb as well. But I don't think he should be able to move anywhere further than that, because he's forced to fall back towards T-spawn now.
Yeah, they're going to find him, so not much they could do with just some armor, and no armor and just P250s. They're able to find 2, so they make it a little bit expensive for OG. They're going to have enough money to purchase up back into this round. Mixwell. So Stan's going to pick up the op, Mixwell's going to grab it. And on the side of TSM, no op in their hands, just AKs across the board. A little light in the pockets as well, not too much utility, only Sick and Twist, the ones with flashes, so their execution, they can't afford to go throw these plat smokes and not take advantage of them at this point.
So gun run going through. Mixwell's going to stay aggressive towards this mid side. He gets a leg onto Twist, trying to go for the touchdown nade, but that is going to hurt FNS down to 73 instead. But at least that information is given away that they have 2-3 guys working towards mid on Team SoloMid, so he's going to come back and support his teammate Stanislaw towards long. And they'll have pretty much that on lock. That forces now TSM to fall back and possibly at this point try to take control of drop zone, where you currently have Rush holding it back with the FAMAS.
Yeah, Sick pushed up to Cubby towards Plat. You're going to see Relics. Going to join him as well and use one of those smokes to allow them to cross Broken Wall for free. And the return smoke is going to come up from OpTic. So both teams utilizing their utility, but OpTic slowing down their pushes with theirs, and Semphis looking like he wants to go down drop. And look at this, OG, an early read, just going to rotate Mixwell back to connector. So the rotations are going to be fast now for OpTic. And TSM looking to explode another site based on that flash, or smoke towards window, excuse me. Looks like they want to go down drop.
Yeah, drop and pinch in towards Rush, who's waiting towards that danger side. Twist falls in first. And again, you can't really do silent drops anymore with the new update. That Molly is, or Incineroar Grenade is not going to work. The catch rush with a nade in his hands, but Nafly is there to support. Xemphis then comes out, but it's refrag after refrag. At the end of the day, it's a 1 minute advantage. Make that 2 in favor of OpTic Gaming. Targ now forced to fall back towards the tree, but pushed up by Sick. He wins that fight at least. It's now a 2 versus 2 as they open it up. There's 24 seconds left on the clock. They're trying to go for the plant, but Nafly peeks out, loses it. And it's now a 2 versus 1. The pre-fired shot from the M4 gives Stanislaus position away as he rotates back towards connector, but Finesse was waiting there with the AWP, and Team SoloMid puts the first point on the scoreboard.
Yeah, OpTic kept trying to push the issue there. They had a player towards tree, and Tark was supporting him from pizza, but it felt like they felt more pressure than was actually being applied and just kept peeking over and over and trying to trade out, but the trades eventually go in the way of TSM as they had the superior positioning and straight up peeking into the loving arms of the players on TSM. So now Xemphis can get that off for free, not having to invest into it himself. And you're going to see Rush, as you mentioned, loving that mag. And 3-1, so TSM going to be able to get the rifle round on the board. And OpTic, though, reset early. They do have some armor, though, so it's not the worst buy we've seen it.
Oh, man.
Ooh, that shot. He tried to thread the needle of that brick.
Leg shots, body shots, it continues on. No real connects with the AWP yet, but Stanislaus is heavily damaged. It is a force buy call from the in-game leader of OpTic Gaming, and they're going to try to clear it out, but that forces OpTic Gaming to play it a little bit more passively. They do have Rush with that Mag 7 playing towards that broken wall, and that's pretty much the strongest defense that they have there towards B. But they have a great stack towards this A site, and they're going to optimize Mixwell to actually get that information through the smoke to see if he could actually surprise somebody when the smoke dissipates. He's the only one that doesn't have armor to try to save for an op for later on, but you could see TSM now falling back to, once again, regain control of drop in B.
Yeah, plat control now. Sick's going to be the man to lead the charge once again. That smoke towards broken wall. So Rush, as you mentioned, Mag playing towards plat. And this is a deadly position for this Mag. Jumping shots and all, it doesn't matter. He is just going to be feeling the pressure. He's going to call for rotations. You see the quick flank from 2 coming out. Rush, jumping. He's going to find 1. What else can he do? He will finally get traded out. But a 1-for-2 trade now, favoring TSM. And now, though, look at Naf and Stan. It's all on Nafly, though. He has an AK and armor. TSM, the trades, they came through for them, but still a really expensive round.
Drop and spotted now at the window. Oh, he doesn't actually get taken down. He still has small armor, thankfully for that. And he was fighting up against Relics. And at this point, you can see that Nafly with no kit, no utilities, really just wants to save this this AK for the next round. Mixwell's down to $1,600, so this will give a chance for them to go for a full buy here. Also drop an AWP for Mixwell if needed. And most likely that will be the call because they do need the op. But nonetheless, it is going to be another round coming in for Team SoloMid. The force buy not in fruition here for OpTic Gaming. It's going to be 3-2, where the economy is going to be starting to get a little bit tougher here for the CT side. C-side?
Yeah, what I also noticed back to that first rifle round, we saw Mixwell, he was opening up the round towards long A, and then what OpTic did is they quick rotated to B. So if there's no initial pressure towards A, if you don't spot anyone towards outside, typically it's just going to be one lurker towards A, so they're feeling pretty comfortable throwing one player to site and rotating Mixwell over early with the op. So what I liked is how OpTic's able to float around Mixwell with his op. We only saw it for one round, and they did end up getting shut down that round, but the floatability of Mixwell is really what's going to allow them to have a good CT side here. But let's see if they're going to be able to continue this forward now. Both teams, strong buys on both sides. And there, yeah, Mixwell is going for a mid push. He is just going to fall back now, trying to find the opening pick, and right back to that connector position. And here's Stan once again, almost like a replay. Going to meet up with him. And they're going to boost into elbow. So I like this decision. It allows Stanislaus to be able to cover 2 positions at once.
On the other end of things, though, TSM are still playing this fairly slowly, creeping up slowly towards this A-long, and also bringing the bomb towards that side. Everybody's actually forfeiting this B hold, so I don't know if they tried to throw something earlier on to just try to keep OpTic Gaming on their toes at the B site, and it seems it's the case because nobody's really rotated back from OpTic. They really haven't really heard the fallback, so Stanislaus at this position has to come up huge here. It's up to TSM to see if they're going to spot for that angle or not.
Mix rotated out early. He's already all the way back to plat. They brought him all the way over so he can peek plat with his op, so they have left Stanislaus all alone, but now OpTic catching on, going to rotate 2 players over in response. So they're going to have the riflers here, and already one back APC as TSM is game. Make control, they're going to go for it, and that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade as OpTic is able to get Tark. And he's going to get the return frag. So now we're in a 4v4 situation, but they have to deal with the player site and APC. And it's all on Tark now. Rotations are coming through from OG, but TSM looking to press the issue. And just like that, 2-for-2 trade. Nafly, though, jumping out.
We continue with the trades, but Nafly makes it a 1-man advantage. A 2 versus 1, evened up by FNS. It's now a 1 versus 1. Spotted towards the CT spawn. He's trying to land that spray. Now forcing a reload. No utilities for FNS. There's 13 seconds left on the clock. He thought that Nafly was still towards the CT spawn, but Nafly was able to rotate back towards the A-bomb site. Goes for the peek at the broken wall at that area and lands that clutch. And brings OpTic Gaming back into this game where Team SoloMid will have the call to go for a force buy. Interesting.
Yeah, so nice rotations there coming up from OpTic Gaming, as the force buy, as you mentioned, is going to be coming out. Yeah, and they're going to go with 2 techs. So what I love about what OpTic Gaming did in the previous round is they rotated Mixwell out early, and they brought 2 riflers over and instead towards A as soon as pressure was applied. And those 2 riflers were able to get back APC in sight extremely early on before they were even pushed up to tree. And in the meantime, though, Relics is going to be able to open up on Rush, and now Nafly is going to be feeling the pressure. He feels pretty much obligated to try to push and get a return frag.
Nice job by Sick to support his teammate, but Mixwell still at the boulder. Another refrag coming through, but it's a 3 versus 1 to end it on the scoreline. Tarek stuck towards the B bomb site. They're coming towards the connector for TSM, and they're going to plant towards this A bomb. So that means that Tarek at this point will try to save his M4, and a good call for TSM. Basically, if it was FNS or Semphis to call it, it was the right one to basically reset the economy back for OpTic Gaming, because for the rounds that they won here for OpTic Gaming side, they had lots of guys alive, but then lost 2 rounds in a row, went for that victory, only won with 1 player alive, so it was a very low buy for the CT side into this round number 7. So you'll see it at very, very low for OpTic Gaming at this point. I mean, 2 of them are already at the $50 mark. They're going to get $1,400, and they'll afford nothing but maybe a P250 no armor if they want to go for any firepower. And even smarter here for TSM to try to go on a hunt to prevent Tarek from getting anything done here with this AK. Ooh. But it gets a nice flick shot there, headshot onto FNS, and he will be able to save that AK after all.
Yeah, so I like the concept there of sending out the, as you mentioned, the Galil out to try to hunt Tarek down. Yeah, and it didn't pay off, but now TSM going to be allowed to get a couple SMGs in their hands, try to build their own economy, as both teams have been lacking that so far this game. Both teams pretty back and forth, unable to get their economy in a stable position. OG going to be forcing around Tarek's rifle, so they're putting a lot of trust in Mixwell as well as Tarek. With an MP9 and an AK, and a couple Deagles. They have a little bit of utility, but no mollies to slow down the pushes coming up from TSM. So let's see if this is going to be a quick play for TSM.
TSM on the control towards the drop zone area, but for OpTic Gaming, on this pistol buy, I really want to focus more on the long hold. This might give a chance for them to converge faster a little bit towards that mid side, in case TSM decides to fall back from this B earlier in the round. But Nafly is also pushed all the way out, and that's going to give a lot of information for the team, because as they spot nobody there, you already see them going for a fast rotate back through the connector and support more towards the B side. Thing is, though, there's still 1:08 left on the clock, and you still have FNS slowly rotating back towards this mid side. So if he sees nothing there, this could still be a chance for TSM to fall back towards A. But now they're looking to fully commit towards B.
Yeah, and OpTic have a 4-man stack, one towards window room, and the push is going to come out Sick to lead the charge. But he shoots his teammate. What? Gets a little confused. But it's okay, as Nafly is going to find Semphis. There's FNS to bring it back in favor of TSM, and Sick. That's definitely an enemy. And there you go. The force buy coming up from OpTic, as they would have had a double save anyway, so putting full trust in Tarek didn't pay off in the end. As TSM, though, still a little expensive on their side, having to rebuy 2 players.
Yeah, and they're in there for TSM. It was against pistols after all. I mean, the Deagles were still wielded for OpTic Gaming. That could have been some bad news should they have connected their shots, but through the scramble that happened on the execution, that friendly fire really made it a little bit confusing in terms of a team fight. But they're in a great spot now for TSM to retake the lead in this game. Or actually, yeah, to take the lead for the first time in this game. As they've tied it up on a 4-4. Flash coming out towards long for all 5 of them to peek out there. And it's going to be an easy take for TSM. They've already committed inside there. Crate, though, coming through. They'll try to save an AK left behind from Relics.
Yeah, they're actually going to give it to him as well. So he's going to get a dodge with it. And just default pistols as mentioned. And TSM going to take the 5th round on the board. And they're going to try to save these 3 AKs. Losing one, it's expensive. But at this point, when you get bomb plant and win 3 in a row, it's not going to hurt you too much. As... So yeah, 5-4, you're going to see the bomb explode shortly. Rush going to be posted up trying to find his own exit frag. And OpTic Gaming, though, It looked really good at the beginning with their rotations coming through, Mixwell getting comfortable with the op, but the switch up from TSM from going to A to B to a slow to aggression, like a pure aggression, it's hard to get a read on them currently. And once Mixwell gets his op, it's going to be interesting to see if he will just go to plat instead of sticking towards the A side. And they get another weapon. That's a Mac 10, but hey, it's a weapon.
I don't think they're going to keep it. At this point, it was just Semphis looking for some extra econ from those kills. But a nice position there for Mixwell to actually cover his teammates' backs from the way that they were setting up for the exit. So TSM, at the end of the day, they take the lead in this matchup 5-4. Things look good for OpTic Gaming for winning the pistol into 3 rounds, but still seeing more of a T side these days for Cobble. Getting 4 rounds out of 10 so far, or out of 9 played, is actually pretty decent. Still have 5 more rounds to go in this first half, with now TSM focusing more towards long here. But they have boosted up Stanislaw in a good angle where he could surprise some players. But Mixwell at that point is fully exposed if anybody was were to push towards long.
Yeah, Mixwell is going to be baiting for Stanislaw in this position. He's going to try to pop a couple shots through and then fall off immediately. They're banking on TSM not clearing that top upper left corner, as he's just going to be waiting patiently. The bomb is coming out towards mid for TSM, so OpTic have a good setup to try to pinch this, but something doesn't feel alright for on the side of TSM. They are just going to fall one back. That Molly's going to force Mixwell out. Oh, just barely. It doesn't spread fully to the corner, so he's able to stay there. So now, 2 positions that might not get cleared. So it might be a slaughter coming out.
That's for sure. A little bit of a misthrow from that Molly, and this is going to be a huge advantage now for OpTic Gaming to look towards long. Jumping off shot, misses there, and the crossfire comes through. Question mark will come out from Semphis. Of course, he's not typing it out, but he's like, I thought I threw a Molly there. Nonetheless, Mixwell gets a 2K because of that mistake. And TSM is trying to retaliate back, though, but it's now going to be up to Relix. Relix tried to come out towards that connector. There's 22 seconds left on the clock. He's still going to try to engage.
Yeah, bomb is down. There's 2 towards long, and now that he's been spotted, Stan as well as Mixwell going to be working together beautifully there. And a 3K coming out from Mixwell, so we're at a 5-5 scoreline. OpTic, the setup towards long was too strong for that to get dealt with. As you're right, a little confused was Semphis, as that Molotov should have cleared that corner, but it didn't quite spread in his favor. So now 5-5. Good CT half so far coming up from OpTic. And the double ops come out in response, so Napfly and Mix is going to have those in their hands, while Semphis is going to be the one to wield the op for TSM this round.
Mixwell one more time trying to go aggressively, but a great job for TSM this time to just throw an early flash and keep him from pushing out and trying to get an early pick. So that's going to reset things where Mixwell is going to have to play a solo A, but he's watching it from the connector side. That point now for Team SoloMid is basically a default now. Try to take control of that drop zone area. Looking at the flank, you have FNS playing it so passively, you could see from that minimap. He's trying to see if anybody's going to push out towards long. That gives him a chance to just hold back for a bit, and then they'll creep back out and try to regain possession of the map here for the terrorist side. And it's going to start off with FNS looking towards long. But Mixwell has to play it up big here. But they have taken close control of drop, actually. Semphis is already inside danger.
With an op as well. And Tark's playing sidewalk in that cubby corner that you have to wide peek out at E-room to be able to clear it. And he's, oh, look at Semphis. So he's walk push. I don't know if Rush peeked it. He's going to spot Napfly jumping, not going to take the bait. And there's Tark peeking from sidewalk. He's able to get one. Sick will get a return frag. So 4-4 with but 45 seconds on the clock. And Relix going to be able to get that off and see what he can do with it here.
Yeah, it was a game of communication there. Saw 2 guys. Woo! Nice no-scope there onto Stanislaw. He's going to look back towards the statue, and that was the call from Semphis before. He saw one towards statue. He saw one jumping from chicken coop, but he does not connect with the op shot. Tarik's going to stop him, and then the rest of TSM will move in towards this A-bomb site to go for a plant. So they're in good position right now. They're going to try to plant, possibly for the spammable wall, where Sick is heading towards to. Twist is playing from CT spawn, catches Mixwell on a rotation. Molly to force him out. He still manages to get the headshot onto Rush somehow. But Tarek is now in a 2 versus 1. He's going to have to ace clutch if he wants to win this one. But as he picks up the AWP, doesn't pick up a kill anytime soon, he's going to be forced to fall back and save. And that is exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, so good play coming up from TSM. They show their hand early towards drop room. And then Semphis can't get the opening pick, but Sick Actually, no, excuse me, it was Twist, I believe, who followed up towards drop room. Wait, no, I'm losing my mind. It was Relics. I'm just going to name the whole roster of TSM till I'm right.
And then you'll get it.
I will. So it was Relics, actually, who was the man to go down drop with Semphis.
Yep.
And he was able to get one, but what's key about what happened there is if Relics would have dropped immediately after Semphis, it would have allowed rotations to come through immediately. They would have cleared drop, and it would have been like, oh, no pressure plat, no one drop. Definitely an A-put take. But due to Relic staying alive for that little bit of time that he did, it did make OpTic double think and kind of slow down and not rotate early.
The positive aspect is that they have an IBP, but they're not giving it to Mixwell. They're utilizing the spawn of Tark to probably just put him up towards the platform to op there. Yeah, they smoke it out for him to get that positioning. The rest of them are going for sort of a force buy coming through to build the economy up, or to even up the economy. And Tark gets an opening kill, and that's going to be the call for TSM to aggressively push out. Naflight capitalizes with a 5-7 kill. With no armor here. Actually, he does have armor. Picks up the AK-47 as well, but TSM are in a tough spot.
Yeah, with Twist stranded towards Plat, and he'll get dealt with. He was stuck in a smoke, forced to show his hand, and Semphis is going to peek with no backup. And he has the bomb on his back. He gets one and a second, but there's Stanislaus. So this eco coming out from OpTic doing work as they just shut down that Plat take completely, and it's all in FNS now. So OpTic, the magic is here with the pistols. It really is.
This point as well, it's FNS, who unfortunately was still up towards that mid side, hoping to catch some rotation. And as he peeks up towards the upper B, and try to pick up the bomb, Stanislaus waiting there on the corner, and this force buy that came through comes in favor of OpTic Gaming, but the force buy was so weak. Rush had a max 10 with no armor. Nafly had a 5-7 armor, and then you had a Deagle and the AWP, and it was all Tarek with the AWP that made things very scrambly for TSM on the execution at upper B.
Yeah, that's for sure. So it made it rough. The mollies came in, and it was just difficult for them to really fight back at that point. And Sick has always been the man to lead the charge towards Plat, and this time Twist is going to lead the charge towards drop. And with just pistols and no armor, just one set on FNS. Not expecting too much. They'd like to drop a couple weapons on the side of OpTic. But at the end of the day, they are just going to be saving once again. But still, a great CT half, all things considered. If OpTic Gamer are going to be able to continue to keep trading rounds like this, it's going to have a really good CT side for them.
Or a good match overall, depending how TSM is going to play on the CT side.
True.
I mean, this so far has been going back and forth very well in terms of both teams of how to exploit the weaknesses of others. Again, the previous round was that gamble to stack towards that B bomb site, and Tart just did a great job with the AWP to hold it back. This time, a few rounds ago, it was for them to just go for trades after trades. I mean, if you're looking at the amount of people alive during these gun rounds, there's not many alive every single time. It's like 1 and 2s. But it's going to be very aggressive for TSM right now to move up towards this mid side. Mixwell's winning with the AK-47. Stanislaw with the crossfire as well, and also through the smoke, draws the bomb carrier onto Sick. And just like that, it's a 5-on-1. Mixwell with 1 HP, able to fall back for now. But FNS and Semphis has to come out big now.
Yeah, and Semphis is going to find one. And now Mixwell's still on 1 HP. FNS is going to spot him. That's an easy takedown for him. Nafly was full blind and unable to help him out, but Stan, they still have to deal with him towards mid. He has the bomb towards danger as well, and it's all on Semphis. So those smokes from TSM early go against their favor as they wanted to smoke mid and try to run out, but OpTic Gaming challenged him through the smoke, and what an interesting little brawl that was towards mid that come out completely in OpTic's favor.
Now with no money left for this last round of the first half, I expect TSM to play this very aggressively as it did before. When they had the Tech 9s in the hands of Relics and of Sick, they went towards that drop zone, immediate drive-by from Relics into danger. And I would assume they would want to go with something very aggressive again to take the advantage of the close-range Tech 9s.
Ooh, the auto. It's out.
I think it's because of the sounds, man. The sound
You
updates
think
make people just want to buy auto snipers. I mean, Lucas did the same thing on the first series against Complexity. Yeah. Now it's Mixwell.
And Naf will have the other op. So the auto and op out. I like the new sounds. They're very echoey. As walk push coming up from TSM, they have armor and Tech 9 stand. Back to this mid aggression. He's going to catch Semphis off guard. Really nice pick for him. No other information gained as no one else from TSM showing their hand. But Mixwell here with the auto. He's going to ring out one. Can he get the second? But he's getting pushed from the left. But there's Nafly to watch his back. And Sick, the last one towards long. Gonna go for the long range nade, but it doesn't matter. Sick, last one up in a 1v5.
Sick, you already made us wait 40 minutes for this game to start. Just go die. 5 versus 1. 5 versus 0. OpTic Gaming wins this first half, 9-6 on the CT side. So a great showing, at least for the OG, the Green Wall, holding a very strong CT side. That being said, though, what do you think TSM has to do now? Of course, aside from winning this pistol round, to come back in this game, Seaside.
I mean, obviously, besides winning pistol round, they need to really be crisp on their rotations. They can't afford to have any slow rotations. They have to get the information early, but they also don't want to show their hand too much and go for too many pushes. So it's really going to come down to reading OpTic Gaming. It's going to come down to really the rotations have to be on point. If there's any slack in the rotations, OpTic Gaming are just going to shut it down, get site control, and then retaking against OpTic Gaming when they're firing on this kind of caliber with hitting all the shots that they're hitting. It's going to be extremely difficult. So they need to get information early, but also at the same time be a little conservative in the way they play.
Second half is about to start now. This time, OpTic Gaming on the T side, Team SoloMid on the CT. Mind you, this is still map 1 on Cobble. Second one is going to be Dust 2 for the quarterfinals now in the IBP 2016 Fall Invitational. OG moving out here from their spawns, looking to be... Well, they had B spawns, but they're going to try to look back and walk slowly towards his mid side. They do have a Tech 9 onto Mixwell to try to run that raid boss. And Twist, good move on him to try to push aggressively towards long, but he's not doing more than that. So he's not going to be able to get that much information for his team, and finally does so. So he spots the first guy. Here's that immediate rotation coming through from the rest. Semphis getting the first kill onto Rush, included the bomb cure at the connector side. That's 2 kills, and finally it's traded back by Tarek, but they have a 2-man advantage. So now, after that, Sick just goes to work and drops the last 2, and because of that, not only did they have a quick rotation from B to A, they actually went for, I think it was a boost towards that B side at the drop zone. Gave a chance for 2 guys to actually come back on a rotation, pinch in across OpTic Gaming, and win that pistol round. Much needed there for Team SoloMid, trying to get that chance to come back and tie this game. Default should be that you win 3 rounds after winning pistol. But with CSGO today, with pistols, it could still be anybody's game on the second round. You see TSM now with 3 UMPs, taking advantage of the armor pen with those submachine guns, and also an M4 in the hands of Sick. Semphis only going with the Tech 9 that he salvaged from that previous round, just to try to have that op a little bit earlier in this third round if he stays alive and gets a few kills. But here comes the execution from OpTic Gaming. Incendiary grenade to try to hold him back. Pop flash on him to come through, and Sick is in a tough spot because he didn't notice the first guy that came through, but at least Twist is there to help him out. Tarek, 2 remaining members make that for OpTic Gaming on a 4 versus 2. Ring around the rosy around the statue, and finally they pick up the last 2 against Rush and Tarek. So it's now going to be 9-8 in favor of OpTic Gaming. And OpTic Gaming on this pistol buy and the pop flash, lots of money that was invested there, cannot get anything, and I think it was only 1 kill towards that. So that means that they'll be on a full save with Glock, no armor. Glocks, not Glock. P250s for at least Tarek, Nafly, and Rush. And they are looking to split down towards this mid side at A. You do have Semphis, though, that's already perched up towards that wall. He's going to hear a lot of footsteps. Nobody really rotated across because he still has support from FNS as well just behind him. But actually, they're going to let everybody run across towards long. Nobody's watching it. So Mixwell's going to come through. Finally, Tarek comes down. But he gets picked up there by FNS and by Semphis. But because of that, they get a bomb plant for OpTic Gaming and gives them a chance to have such a strong buy in the next one.
I think I'm alive.
On the rotation. Welcome back. 4-on-2 situation as Mixwell close range burst shot does connect onto Twist, but not more than that. Nafly at this point only with the Tech 9. And he's just looking to see if he could salvage anything there on a last second kill. But it's not going to be there. 9-9 overall. And here comes the real gun round of the second half.
Yeah, so OpTic going to be able to get rifles out. Utility across the board as well. TSM going to have an op. And they're going to stick with a couple UMPs. It looks like that's the plan. They'll be playing some tight, close angles with those. Not favorable at range, as you're going to see Semphis with the op going towards long A. He has support from one player that is going to be FNS towards mid. And Naf going to be going for some door spam. He was thinking about it. As OpTic going to be going for a boost. And just a slow play coming out from OpTic, not wanting to show too much. They will gain a little bit of plat control. They're going to have to contest it from Relics. As OpTic Gaming, as well as TSM, just settle into a default here and try to figure out what both teams are doing.
Yeah, you see this often as well, right? You bring that op towards long. He's gonna have it. He's gonna be in a position where he's gonna be able to hear anything in terms of utilities being thrown towards his mid side from his position at long. Also having a good angle to look towards long, and that would give a chance for the connector, which is going to be FNS, to rotate quickly back towards the connector side should it be A. Meanwhile, the rest focusing towards B. You have control of that platform area, which puts the defense in your favor. Now OpTic Gaming looking to take control of drop, lots of flashes being thrown, and a little bit more of a passive play for TSM because of that.
And sick. Molly's going to force him back to stairs. And there is one player, though. He is going to be in that cubby corner. Rush is going to be lining up a smoke. And the mollies and everything else coming up from OpTic Gaming. They're going to try to force TSM to awkward engagement. Snap's going to be able to find Sick. He was playing towards flat. Are they going to clear this cubby position? So commonly used, and they allow Relics to get 3. Relics does it. He comes up huge. Now Mixwell and Naf both towards drop, and they're aware of this, as Relics has come up huge for TSM.
Amazing. Picks up an AK-47 on top of that. 2 versus 2. Bomb is down. So they're going to have to boost back up for Nafly to pick it up. But there's 14 seconds left on the clock. They have to commit towards B. Mixwell, though, wins that fight against Semphis. This could be huge. Now Relics has to ace. Now it's him against Nafly. Here's the footsteps. Nafly going for the plant. It's going to be a full plant, so Relics going to let him do it. Looks back. Does not connect for the ace, unfortunately. Such a big play from Relics, but unfortunate and anticlimactic as he loses that 1 versus 1. And OpTic Gaming retakes the lead in this game. But that armor penetration for that UMP close range towards drop, that was actually very strong.
Yeah, great play coming out. Relic's going absolutely off close plat, but he can't close it out with the ace, which is unfortunate as TSM started out with a pretty good CT half. And OpTic Gaming now going to answer back, but the running is still a little shaky. You're going to see a Gloom Tech 9 in play. And TSM, enough funds to still get this double op set up. This time Relics is going to have it instead of UMP. He is going to be playing towards plat, where OpTic Gaming on their CT side didn't really have too much plat presence with an op, but here it's the push though. Semphis and FNS going to be able to work beautifully together, and FNS gets 2, and the bomb as well. So TSM bait and switching beautifully there towards long A.
Yeah, and a little bit of a change for TSM going for a double op setup. Nice shot by Rush, at least, towards this mid side at the stairs, trying to win this one long range on the top of the ramp on the other end against Twist. But now FNS lets his opponent walk back through the smoke, but his teammate was there to support. And there you go. Nafly falls down from FNS's backstab. It's tied up 10-10. And I don't think they expected such an aggressive play of 2 players, actually, at the entrance of long for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, I don't think they're ready for that one, as Semphis just baited beautifully there for FNS. But at the end of the day, the money on both teams still a little shaky. Double ops, yeah, still in play, but a couple SMGs to try to capitalize on the low buy coming out from OpTic Gaming. So they're going to try to rack in some money. But Relics is looking to try to find some frags as he's going to push long A. And again, Twist is here to support, so the bait and switch is working beautifully as Twist gets 2. Can't get anything else, but the trades are all up for TSM.
Definitely good enough. They managed to pick up the AWP left behind from Relics, but you're really playing the spawns with the AWP now. If it's not Semphis, it's Relics at this point. Semphis still staying towards the B side in case the terrorist team decides to fall back towards B. Of course, they have 1:18 on the clock, so plenty of time for them to do so. And so far, it's just going to count onto Stanislaw to maybe get some openings towards this A bomb site. He hears a few footsteps after throwing that incendiary grenade that he picked up. But Sick is on a right crossfire setup with his teammate FNS. So you can see them right now from that mini-map. They're actually looking to move back up on that mid side to regain control of A.
Look at this though. Stan with the op trying to find FNS. He's lucky he got away with his life as it was just Tark facing him. So Stan with the op and bomb gonna start this walk push up mid. Sick though. He's coming for this quick flank. I don't think the boys on OG are gonna be ready for this, but nice opening pick from Stan. Is Sick gonna spring the trap as it looks like he's gonna find one. Can he find the second? Stan missing the shot, and he will close it out. Sick able to find the op as well, so TSM will go up 11-10. And a great flank coming out there from Sick.
Yeah, you might think it was a bad move for FNS to go for that jump peek from that broken wall at A. The thing is, though, it gives enough information to let them know where they're positioned. Are they still playing passively to try to work back towards B, or had they committed inside that A ramp? And as he jumped up and spotted the opera, that gave the call for Sick to actually come back and get the backstab, because you've only really wasted an MP7 instead of really a rifle. So that is okay for the play. Putting OpTic Gaming back on the save. No armor across the board here. P250s, though, at least for the terrorist team. But it is looking pretty good, at least for TSM in this round. I mean, the last time they lost against quote-unquote pistols, it was Deagles, a Nop in the hands of Tarek. Now it's just against P250s, no armor. Should they lose this round, then should be really questionable as to if TSM should still keep playing CS. Lol. But at this point, it shouldn't be the case.
No, they're just going to find all the information so they know they're coming down drop, and you can see the rotations based on all this information come through. FNS and Semphis going to meet up and lock down that window room. Twist immediately falls back to a more favorable position. Misses the smoke, but hey, that's alright. We all make mistakes. He falls back to Rock, and Relics gets one, so this is getting hairy, but Twist from Rock trying to lock it down, and that's what he'll do.
He'll get 2 kills with that, but okay, at least he does have support from Sick at the chicken coop. Because of that smoke, though, that gave a chance for them to plow through towards Rectangle and take down and pinch Relics. So the mistake does happen, but it cost him a lot. It cost him a player. It cost him somebody that they shouldn't have lost. Nonetheless, though, they do have a 2-round advantage for TSM. Finally coming back here in the CT side. On the other end, though, for OpTic Gaming, it's a very low buy. They're buying whatever they can, so that's a P2... sorry, not a P250. A P90 in the hands of Nafly. Very low utilities, and it's going to have to be an explosion play.
That's for sure. Not much to work with that. Molly's going to make Tarek rethink what he's doing.
They boost it up, though.
Look at FNS. First time they've done this, it's going to catch Nafly off guard. But it doesn't matter. OpTic are exploding onto the B site regardless. Sick feels the pressure. He's going to go 5-7. He gets one. Can't get the second, though. But Semphis from Zora is able to find Stanislaus. So now, it's all on Rush in a 1v2. FNS, though, on 2 HP. This is doable. And especially if Semphis is going to miss a close-range shot.
They have plenty of utilities to work with, though, at least for TSM. They're going to boost up. But this is actually going to be really good for Rush, because that's going to split things up. Only 2 HP for FNS. He knows that boost coming through. He knows that Semphis now is going to play towards connector side. So he could really just turn this into individual 1v1s. But that big pop flash support play from FNS gives a chance for Semphis to get a kill onto the blinded Rush. The fuse coming through. TSM are up by 3 rounds now.
Yeah, they're looking really strong, but on that bomb plant, there's going to be enough money on the side of OpTic to get a buy. Let's see how much it is actually going to be standing at, as you're going to see. Yeah, $4,000, $4,300 the most. So let's see if they are just going to go for pistols here. Not feeling too comfortable to get a full buy-in is OpTic. So they're going to allow TSM potentially to get to 14. As it's interesting to me that Mixwell also invests heavily into this. I see NAF has enough money to, with losing bonus, as well as that bomb plant to get off next round. But it's interesting to me that Mixwell invests as well. So they're relying on the money of NAF to get the op in the next round. So TSM looking to do exactly what they did in the previous round with their utility usage and trade positions. But it did get hairy. So let's hope it doesn't this time, as Six is going to be playing towards Fountain with his own op.
Yeah, you haven't really seen them have the advantage of the AWP on the T side, so maybe having Mixwell invest here is just for them to go for full AKs in the next one. And similar strategy they did before with the pistols, they're going for the pop flash to go close towards Rectangle, but this time they're finally getting a few kills coming through. It's now a 3 versus 2. They will be able to savage an AWP. Bomb is down at the statue side, and Relics is just trying to spam across through this smoke. But as it dissipates, Nafly is in a great position at upper B, but he misses a shot, 2 unfortunately, onto FNS. He's going to run that clock down.
Nafly with it off in his hands. He has to come up huge for the side of OpTic if they want to win this round. Missing that shot's not going to help, and now it's all on Tarek, and he is going to get shut down. So TSM will get to round number 14. OpTic Gaming now will have enough money to get a strong purchase here. Let's see how their utility is going to be looking. It's going to be looking pretty good. So yeah, as you said, just AKs across the board. You're going to have mollies on everyone, so a full execution is definitely possible from OpTic now. This time with rifles, and they're still able to trade fairly well, all things considered, with just pistols. So that B execute with rifles can make it scary for TSM, as they don't want to push their smoke against rifles. They feel comfortable doing it against pistols. But this time with rifles, let's see how the play is going to break down. Mixwell, again, going to be probably throwing that smoke towards broken wall. Rush back towards his drop position. A little more aggression now from OpTic with these rifles.
Yeah, it's been fairly slow in the past rounds. They're showing themselves quite early, showing their cards early as well towards the drop in this round. But they have not yet committed towards this drop. They're forcing rotations after rotations, and just like that, Sick gets the shot through the smoke because he saw the recoils coming through, the bullet trace actually coming through that smoke. Gets the kill, and it's going to be a 5-on-4, so this is actually a great advantage now for TSM. And mind you, this is OpTic Gaming's map choice. They've always been fairly good on Carmel, but seems to be struggling a little bit here into this game versus TSM.
Yeah, exactly. So Sick Yeah, I don't know what's going on for OpTic Gaming. This is the round they need to turn around. They can't let TSM get to match point. And with Sick getting that opening pick, it's going to put OpTic into a weird situation where now TSM can afford to have 2 players towards A. They don't have to worry about not being able to trade effectively towards B. So they're going to have an op towards the site and 1 player that is going to be behind window. And you're going to see Semphis back site. This is a huge spot for him. Unable to connect on the first shot. They know he's here now, but they're continuing to face, and the flashes come through. Semphis needs to hit a shot soon.
There you go. Does so. 4 versus 2. Bomb is yet to move inside the site. Finally, as they try to do so, they try to jump out towards that smoke, so that evens it up on a 2v2. Nafly's in a great position to go for a surprise attack, but he makes too much noise. Sick ops him down. It's a 2 versus 1. Tarek, now inside the site. Pop flash in the air, a second one. That's going to fully blind Sick. He's going to come across, looks up in the air, but Relics, death from above. Comes in to salvage. Yep, salvages the AWP. The defuse is going to come across, and TSM are back on a double op. And interesting enough, though, is that Sick was the one that was opping towards upper B this time when Relics was opping earlier on in the half. So they do have a lot of versatility available for TSM in terms of double op setups.
Yeah, and I like that. It keeps the team on its toes. You never really know where the ops are going to be. A lot of teams like to go for some really mid picks, but some TSM is keeping them on their toes from going long, plat. Heck, we've seen Semphis go down drop with an op, so anything's possible for this TSM side. So now no op on the side of OpTic. Rifles once again across the board, and TSM looking to close this first game out on OpTic's pick. And as I mentioned, I'm surprised they didn't go cash. Possibly, I don't know what's going through their minds. Is look at Tark, though. He's able to get out window for free, and he gets one, can't get the second, but he will heavily tag Relics.
That's right. Advantage from getting the bomb plant and a max bonus money. Now Sick landing that shot from the statue side again to keep doing these drops, but Sick is connecting this time only to 2. Nafly retaliates right after. It's still a 1-man advantage though for TSM as 2 of them are pushing up from upper B. So Nafly is looking. Nice one tap there for Stanislaw onto Relics, who is heavily tagged as you mentioned. But that op. 1 versus 1. Op shot missed by Semphis. Off shot then comes out from Nafly as Semphis tries to go for the surprise with the CZ, and OpTic stays alive, 15-11.
That was a little awkward at the end there. The op standoff, and OpTic gonna stay alive. Their money though, kind of in tatters, as TSM are gonna be able to get the last strong buy possibly. But it's gonna be their money's gonna be low. So if OpTic are able to reset them here and force out a pistol round, we might be able to see overtime here. Snap's gonna have an op. UMP is out on Mixwell, so a little bit of light utility on the side of Tark and Stan, as well as Rush, but Semphis is in a key position, and he can't afford to miss shots like that, especially 15-11 with OpTic starting this comeback early.
Yeah, at least Semphis connects, but he's down to 15 HP himself. FNS waiting for the molly to dissipate so he could go for a big flank. Semphis looking back here from the staircase into the rat hole, down towards the A ramp, but OpTic Gaming are slowly streaming up here towards this area. Nafly watching the flank, wins that fight, and Tarek also gets another kill, so it's going to be a 4 versus 3. If they don't get a kill soon, you'll see the rest of them save their rifles, and Semphis is calling out, why didn't we actually try to execute? So it was really just him moving on his own. Wow. Nice spam there from Mixwell, headshot onto Sick, and there you go. That's the call for Relics and Twist to save their rifles.
So there you have it. They are going to get to round number 12. TSM, their money's going to be pretty much in the gutters. So it's going to be interesting to see if they are going to force around this op as well as M4. That's assuming they are able to save these, as Maxwell is already quick on the hunt. And if Relics isn't careful, he might get caught off guard, as it looks like he didn't spot him early. So yeah, Maxwell able to get an op, and that's all on Twist now to save.
He's just holding it back here towards this upper B wall. He wants to try to get this kill into Mixwell and maybe run across to pick up the AWP. So now that he sees nobody there, picks it up. And at least they'll salvage that. But they don't have anything else to work with on TSM's side. Will they be able to close this, or are they going to choke again?
If they can figure out how to do pause, that'd be nice. There we go. So the pause will come out. There we go. They figured it out. And so they are going to discuss things. It is a tactical, so that's nice. So they are going to be discussing, hey, what do we do? I don't imagine they're discussing this round. Unless they force around this op and put full trust into whoever's going to wield it. But I believe they will be discussing the next upcoming rifle round, as OpTic Gaming have been able to get themselves back into this half late. And it's just been from pure out trading and out aggression. Nothing really to talk about. It's not too methodical. It's just you get a frag elsewhere, you slow it down, you put the pedal to the metal again, catch them off guard, and then you smoke walls towards the B site. Have just been hard for really TSM to really deal with.
So you can see from the overhead view what's going on as my chair squeaks. I need a new chair. Is DX Racer listening? Nonetheless, though, so Semphis does have a good spawn here for long A. He could maybe use that right now and play a solo A site with the AWP. They do have a smoke in 5-7 here in the hands of Twist. He's looking to head towards that connector side from just how it looks. I'm wondering if they're just going to try to smoke up towards that broken wall and stack up towards the area and play it close. So we'll see how it pans out, but this is looking rather dangerous now for TSM. At this point, to lose this round here, they'll have $2,400. $2,400 will be enough for them to go for our low rifle buy, but still getting closer and closer to an overtime, as you can see. So there you go. Semphis is actually not going to head towards the long spawn. He's going to head towards the B bomb site. And meanwhile, OpTic Gaming are just going to explode out towards B.
Yeah, it seems to be the plan. It looks like that.
And he burns!
Oh no, the teammate actually blocking him. Semphis will burn, and that's not going to help. As that's the only op they had out in play. Not even a rifle, just the op out. Twist will get it. I imagine he's just going to get a dodge, but
sure.
this round just fell apart for TSM.
Alright, the call was to try to boost into drop zone and try to get an early pick with the AWP. Molly came down and somehow they got lost. I'm assuming it's a Molly and a flash combo that was thrown inside the drop. So actually, Semphis didn't get to see that he was burning down. 1G. But that being said, though, OpTic Gaming just exploded towards that B-bomb side. That is unstoppable there versus the pistols there. They really didn't have anybody close to the broken wall. So it gives him a chance to win this round here. 15-13 overall score. He will try to salvage his AWP still, where he's currently staying towards the back of the A bomb site. So they'll have that money for that, and rifles for the rest.
So yeah, this is it. TSM, they lose this round. It's not going to be looking too hot, as though they will be getting more max loss bonus if they do lose this round. But they want to close it out here. They don't want to give OpTic even a glimmer of hope. They need to shut this down now, as OpTic Gaming have everything they possibly need to bring this back to overtime. TSM lacking utility heavily, only 2 mollies, 4 smokes. Semphis has nothing in the bank besides a good old little kit, so this is a little rough for the boys on TSM. And look at Stan, they know that their utility's lacking. They're just going to go for pure aggression and force TSM to face them.
And also on that, the full connector is open. Finally, Relics is going to rotate back. They're having an issue.
Boost. Yeah, they can't.
That's funny. With an update on CSGO, they can't boost back up. You're supposed to be able to jump higher, bro. There you go. Stanislav is going to fall back, pick up the bomb. But meanwhile, that gave plenty of time for Relics to head back towards the connector side and watch that push. Meanwhile, you still have a solo A player, and that is going to be FNS towards long. And he's going to have to come up big, because that's exactly what OG will decide to do now, walking back towards the mid side. Meanwhile, Relics has fallen back, at least, on a rotation as well. But that connector is open.
Yeah,
nice shot.
Yeah. Allowed, as you mentioned, connector open. He's allowed to get out window for free. Gets one. He hears the player coming behind him, but he's just going to make Twist a little ring around the rosy, and he will get dropped for it. But Tark slowing rotations, but sick. His lurk has been on point so far this game.
Yeah, this is going to be huge.
And he's going to go for the mid push while OpTic going for trying to explode out towards long A. FNS needs to come up huge.
Exactly, and he does so. He draws the bomb. Twist helping him out. He gets a 2K, and sick on that big flank. Executes the last one. Good camera work there. 16-13 in favor of